You gotta come in here.
Funeral for a friend.
Hey. You even got him on. How could you tell? See you Thursday. Yeah. Happy birthday. Thank you.
All the way down here. Happy dread this. I don't know.
Love you, sister. Love you too.
I hear my crown you. Oh. You're rocking it though.
No, thank
You're rocking it. There you go.
Oh, he's got to get it.
It's all right.
You led the way, right?
Oh, yes, yes.
He's behind me. Costa.
Costa, get out.
I still think you should have got one of the New Orleans bands to march in front of
It's outside.
us. Is it okay?
My dog wouldn't wear them.
Go ahead, Mike.
Boy, if we had a trumpet player.
Everybody out here? Okay, come on.
Dogs and all. Probably rehearsed it. They make y'all practice this?
Everybody watch the last step.
It's a Lulu.
Don't drop it.
Don't drop Linda.
Careful.
Look at the horses.
The horses are like, what in the hell is going on?
Neighbors are, what were they drinking?
Look, they're dancing.
Thank you, Tardy.
Linda, you can have a seat right there. Linda, Jim. The pallbearers have to bring it up here.
Oh, we have to go out. Did you just set the whole tray on there, or we set it in there?
I don't know.
There you go.
Everybody have a seat. Are you left?
Will be a service too?
We are gathered here today to bury the youth of Linda Henderson. It's been 60 years and it's too long, so we have to say goodbye to her youth. We're going to stand up one by one and tell a funny story. The funniest story I have about Linda is she does not know how to drive. I was working at Southwest Airlines at the time and snowed in, didn't have a vehicle, so my husband, her brother, sent her to pick me up. She was driving a stick shift, the little Bronco, the small Bronco, and it was a stick shift. I did not know if we were going to make it home. You talk about white knuckling. We did, but I didn't know if we were going to make it home. I white knuckled the whole time. I did not know. We almost ended up in the ditch a couple of times, but she made it home, and I made it home alive. So if anybody else would like to share a story, funny, sad, or other.
Well, I don't know that I have a good one, but I do know how that scar on her lip got there.
Yeah.
It was I was fixing to tee up a golf ball, and I swung, and she's right there. Boom! Busted her lip. So I'm the one went out to the farm and was going to ride the motorcycle. She got a mess of bumblebees down her shirt, and they stung the pee out of her. She never went to the farm again. Let me see if can I think anymore?
Westlake Apartments are now.
That's the first and only time she had breast, right?
The only time, I can only think of one time growing up that me and her got into it, and I liked to broke her arms that time. I had them behind her, and I turned loose when I heard the crackling.
Oh no.
But that was probably the one and only.
That's the one.
That, and she is a master at unwrapping Christmas presents and then putting them back. She could, as a kid, with precision, she could cut that tape, get in there, see what she got, and put it back together.
She can tear a piece of tape to match the birthday, sister. I love you.
Thank you.
Callie, really?
Like this is dangerous. All right, here comes KJ.
Okay. Well, I'm not a public speaker, but probably the most memorable time we've ever had together would have to be the eclipse that we went to Kentucky. And everything was glorious until the return trip home, and Linda said, pull over, pull over, pull over, pull over. So we pull over, and she literally like bolted out the door on a hill like this and just lost it. She pooped it. Well, that was just the first of many stops. It took us how many hours? 12 hours or something to get a 6.5-hour trip back.
Yeah.
And she would not let us eat anything in the car because it made her sick to her stomach. So by the time we got to Arkansas, Sherpa and I were like starving.
Forest City.
So Forest City, we go into the little convenience store and we grab whatever we could get because we were getting gas and ripped it open. We're sitting there like this out by the gas pump, and by the time it was over, we were like,
We're getting a car and she goes, y'all eat something? We're like,
no. I mean, it probably smelled like peanuts or something, but
we had granola bars stuffed in our cheeks like that.
anyway, you know you're really good friends when you can survive something like that and not bother you and you sit back and laugh about it. So anyway, happy birthday, sweet girl. I love you.
I love you too.
The story out at the land was that you and in the halls for about 7 years now. By a chance meeting out in the middle of the Ozark National Forest, we met Mike and Carla, which later led us to get to stay at the cabin one weekend. And over those 7 years, we've done a lot of crazy stuff. And probably the most memorable event we had for me was the Ponca camping trip, where we learned about mushrooms. We learned all you could ever do with mushrooms. You can smoke them, you can eat them, you can, we won't talk about all that they talked about that night, and this information did not come from Jim and Linda, by the way. It came from the people at the campsite next door. And about 3 o'clock, I don't know who it was that told them to shut up and go to sleep, but we've had a lot of fun together.
Well, these two, I don't know, technology, they should have never had technology. Because this one can't find his phone, it's sitting in his lap, and they somehow linked their phones together, and we were driving to South Dakota, and Jim's like, I got Linda done got a text message, I'm getting her calls, her text messages, and then they track each other. Every 5 minutes she went sunflower picturing, and Jim would say, well, let's see where she's at now. He'd put his glasses on. Well, she's outside of, he'd say, some town.
Lawrence, Kansas.
Well, yeah, she's off the road. She must be taking. And then he'd call her, and she'd tell her what he's doing. He said, yep, she was off the. So these two with technology has been hilarious to watch.
Technology obviously rules someone's world when she gets on a paper map and tries to zoom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think my most memorable is when we all went to Branson. That was such a fun trip when we went to Dixie Stampede and shopping. And didn't it snow on us?
Yep, it did.
Like we almost couldn't get off the hill. It started snowing so hard on us while we were in Branson that year. That's probably my most memorable.
I've gotten the pleasure of being her yard boy.
That's right.
I showed up and boss told me what she wanted done. Weeded, cut the flower, cut the grass, all to her spec.
Paid you too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she paid good, yeah. I don't got anything funny really. That's hard on you. Don't be too hard on
So sorry.
Because I'm your sweetest nephew.
That's
so
right. You're my sweetest
I can't
nephew.
be too hard on you.
As my sister, I appreciate you over all these years that we spent good times, bad times, and otherwise together. We've been there to support each other and love each other through some difficult things.
Yes, we have.
And I just want you to know that I appreciate you always being there for us, for me, for Mark, for my kids, when the times get bad. And the times have been bad the past few years. But you've always been there, you've always been faithful to us, and you've always loved us. You know what family means, and you represent family in a very godly way, a very sisterly way, a very aunt way, and a very loving way. And we love you dearly, and we appreciate you, and hope that this next year brings you joy and happiness and love with friends and family, that you make memories each and every day. We love you. Happy
I got
birthday.
one more thing to say.
Oh,
I got one more just come to me. The most memorable thing and most serious thing my aunt has ever said to me was, she looked me in the eyes, she got real close, she said,
Costa.
do not tell them you're John Mark's cousin. I'm swearing, she was dead serious. She said, do not tell them you're John Mark's cousin.
That was at Common Creek.
Costa.
So as we part and we say our goodbyes to your youth, we will always remember all the memories that we had for the last 60 years and show you the love and respect from all your friends and family as we lay our last flower at the grave.
Sisters and brothers, it's the Beverly Saxophone getting ready to beat out this mellow sermon for you. My text this evening when the saints go marching in. Here comes Brother Hickenbauer down the aisle on his trombone. Do it, boy.
No, Rowdy.
Oh, I'm scared.